Okay, I just left the chiropractor. I've been going for about a year, but recently they got a new one, and like I said, I've been going for about a year. I've for about 10 years, really since I was pregnant, I had a very, very tender part in my lower back where it almost felt tender, but it also felt so tight, like there was a rod in my back, and it just caused constant chronic pain. I didn't know what it was about. It seemed to be connected to anxiety. Um, my anxiety started a few years before my pregnancy. So the previous chiropractor would just touch my lower back, just touch it, and I'd let her know, oh, it's tender, but she didn't do anything. Well, this chiropractor has been adjusting my lower back, and it hurts so bad. Well, I've been coming in every couple weeks. It's not been enough. This week it was so painful, and she's telling me, when there's an injury that's been there for that long, you need to come in more frequently to get things moving. She said it's basically like three vertebrae are fused together, three of the joints or whatever you want to call it, or like basically like fused together, and that's just surrounded by inflammation, and it leads to a really bad place if you let this go. I've been going there for about a year, and I knew there was a problem, but I just assumed, well, I guess they can't, I told them about it, but I just assumed, like, it doesn't seem like there's anything they can do. Well, I'm relieved. I'm so happy. It does sound like there's something that can be done. And living with that pain for, over 10 years now, and then feeling like there's something that can be done, just hearing that is emotional, because it's been hard. I was telling the chiropractor, there's been times where it hurts to sit, it hurts to stand, it hurts to move. It just hurts all the time. And anxiety only makes it worse. It feels like you're frozen, you're stiff. Feels like you can't move without pain. And sorry, I keep licking my lips. It just feels exhausting. So I just am thinking about all the things that I'm going through related to stress and how it's catching up with me, and it's just tearing me apart, and I'm trying to fight it. I'm trying to finally help myself feel better and be okay. So I have a teeth grinding issue that's gotten really out of control, and that's a very difficult issue to work on because you're asleep, but it has to do with your anxiety again, of course. And I got a mouth guard, and I didn't use it at first. I put it off, so it could be that I just put it off too long and my mouth adjusted. But when I did start using it, so every morning I've been waking up with lockjaw and with my mouth all messed up, which makes me think that that issue is also continuing to plague me and to affect my teeth. My teeth hurt in the morning when I wake up, but without the mouth guard, I was waking up with little bits of teeth in my mouth. I was grinding my teeth, grinding my teeth down to where I'm like chewing on my teeth while I'm eating cereal or while I'm eating breakfast. And that's disturbing. So I need to wait for a new mouth guard. I have to wait to the new year. And hopefully that'll be the answer, because obviously something that's making the problem worse or causing lockjaw and toothaches and stuff like that isn't going to be the best either. So, I mean, I've had that. I'm working on leaky gut, and the only reason I feel like I'm even able to work on leaky gut is because my husband figured out what might be going on and cooks constantly. A healing diet. He cooks constantly, and thank God he works from home, and thank God he's up for doing this, and that he cares enough to do this for me and the kids, for him too. But without it wouldn't, I don't think I'd be improving in that way. And I've been dealing with that for about 10 years. When the anxiety started up, it just, when there's more anxiety, it's much worse, and my stomach's just constantly feels like it's tightening, or like there's just something like the pain that just kind of strikes it and tightens it and makes it feel so cramped. So, and that's just gotten worse and worse over the years. That also started back in, back about 13 years ago. So something just kind of broke inside me like 13 years ago. It just was too much to manage. It was just too much to bear. And I've just been bearing the consequences ever since. I just feel like it's just been a free fall into depression and pain. And, I got to the point in the last couple years where I was catching every single cold. My immune system, the white blood cells, it was testing really low, vitamin D testing really low. I just I just was on a downward spiral, and it's so sad to me that anxiety can do this and can create so many problems, and I think could lead easily to a premature death and a horrible quality of life. So I'm definitely taking it seriously, but it just feels like all these years there was no time and no energy to take it seriously, and it never felt like it mattered how I felt. Certainly through my 20s, it felt like it didn't matter. Not that my husband didn't care. I met him toward the very end of my 20s. But it just felt like there's no answers. There's nothing you can do. Doctors don't really know. They don't really know what's going on. They don't typically figure out leaky gut. They just assume something more surface that you can take a pill for. And, I have tried some counseling, and I've had some bad experiences and some things that were just a waste of time and money. And maybe that's part of the reason why I'm doing this, why I'm talking here now, because I just want to get some things out. But I fear that there's not many people who really want to hear it, or who can listen without judging too harshly, because even I feel like even like counselor friends, when they get in that counselor mode, sometimes you don't really want counselor mode. You just want somebody to listen and to care. Not that I don't have things that need to be changed or worked on, but sometimes you just want somebody to listen and want to be there for you. And that's been really hard to come by. It's been lonely. It's been a very, very, very lonely 10 years. And I'm sure there's other people feeling these things. You just don't hear about it a lot. I mean, I hear about people with anxiety, but I feel like my anxiety is literally destroying my life and taking so much from me, and was literally bringing me to a place, I had the hysterectomy 3 years ago. My endometriosis started with my anxiety, which sounds crazy, I know, to make that connection, but I was looking at some doing a little research online, which is always scary, but when you're looking for medical information. But I was looking, and I was seeing that there is a connection. There's a correlation between endometriosis and leaky gut. My leaky gut definitely was connected to my anxiety. I just think it just feels like a domino effect. It just feels like everything's been going downhill. And it just has felt like all these years I'm not really sure who to go to, who to turn to for help, I just know that I feel terrible, and I know that I feel alone. And it's destroyed my wedding day. It's destroyed the biggest events in my life, my pregnancy. Certainly like the postpartum, all this past 10 years I've been weak and in pain, and so stinking alone. And I just really, really have hope that things can start to get better, that I can start to feel better. I can start to take care of myself and get stronger. My body can heal. My stomach maybe can heal. My whole system can get better. Maybe my back can start to have better health. Maybe I can go back to the way I felt when I was a teenager, or maybe even my early 20s. But I've had times where things have started to improve, but everything eventually falls apart again. Things just kind of go back. But I've never had so many tools and so much understanding as to what's going wrong in me. So I'm hopeful. And I guess that's all. I feel emotional because I just left that appointment. I just made a call this morning to the dentist about my teeth. My teeth, I have a crown that came out. I'm going to need an implant. I mean, this is starting to cost me. I have, a $2,500 bill from the crown. I'm going to have a bill that's over $4,000 for this implant. I'm literally tearing out my teeth from with teeth grinding. This is all money I don't have. I just feel like, how did this get so bad? How did this get so far? And I wish I knew other people who, maybe other people just don't realize how it's affecting them. Yeah, it can be hard to breathe, but I feel like I'm learning about all of this stuff. It's so bizarre. I've been struggling with breathing for 13 years. I was at the gas station a couple days ago, and Maria, if that's her name, Maria Menounos, I saw her talking on little screen for 2 seconds. She was saying, so breathe in, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale. She's like, she just said something really quickly. It'll help rewire your brain. I jumped back in the car, thought, well, that sounds really simple. That sounds too simple. It came back up in my head later when I was struggling with like my heart beating irregular and fluttering and feeling like I couldn't exhale the way I needed to. And I thought about that and I tried it and it worked. So I'm like, okay, I was at the gas station and random talk show or some sort of influencer, tells me what I need to know in about 5 seconds. And maybe I just haven't been doing enough research, but it was very helpful. And maybe I will try counseling again. We'll have to see. But medication had stopped working. It wasn't working anymore. And that, with leaky gut, that's not a great idea because everything, I can't even take vitamins without feeling sick. At least, before I started the GAPS diet, the healing gut diet protocol. I don't know how it would be now, but in the recent past, I couldn't even take a simple kid's vitamin. Even while I was pregnant, I couldn't do it. I would just feel so sick. I just want to be stronger again. I just want to feel healthy again. I just want to feel like I'm not destroying myself, literally destroying my own body. So it's in my head because I just left the appointment. I wanted to say something because maybe someday I'll look back on this and I guess my lips are dry. But maybe someday I'll look back on this and feel so grateful for all that God's taught me, for all that I've learned, and for all that, He's restored to my life, and all that He restores to my kids' lives, and JR too. He's the strongest one of us, but him too. So, all right, that's it.